You all know how the Batman died, but is Gotham's Dark Knight really dead? Hey, what's happening, gamers? I'm Kwing, and I'm gonna do my best to explain this ending, so hang tight. Oh, and this video is, of course, spoilers for Batman Arkham Knight. And we're back. Now, over the course of the game, we've been given many different hints to the fate of the Batman. Now, Bruce Wayne, in a sense, is dead. I strongly believe that. But he died a long time ago when he was 8 years old. That's when Batman was born. From that point on, Bruce Wayne became a mask, a false identity, if you will. I first had this theory during Arkham Origins. In fact, Alfred kind of helped fuel my point during Batman's first encounter with the Joker and his assassins. He said that Batman was heading down a self-destructive path and was always ignoring Bruce Wayne's responsibilities and his life. All Bruce cared about was his quest. And Alfred and Bruce butt heads a lot in that game, and he gets confronted over so many things, because Bruce Wayne is more concerned about his creation, the Batman. Alfred then eventually gives in and says, you know, this isn't a fight that Batman can do alone, and he'll need to enlist allies into his cause. So Alfred, then Lieutenant James Gordon, and others join Batman's quest. Though much of the Arkham timeline has yet to be filled in, maybe that'll be later games by WB Games Montreal, or it'll just be over. But Batman's methods became softer over time when he stepped into the light. Though there's no evidence to prove this, I really believe when Batman brought Tim Drake into the fold, that he created his ultimate contingency plan. The Knightfall Protocol, a means to protect his allies should his identity be exposed or something happen to him, though only Alfred and Batman would know of its existence. It wasn't until the events of Arkham Knight that Batman thought about finding his successor or activating his failsafe, because for the first time since he was a little kid, Batman was starting to fear, and fear was starting to win. Once he hands himself over to the Scarecrow, he knows that it's over. And it's sad in a way, because both Bruce Wayne and Batman have been struggling for dominance his entire life, and Batman won. Bruce tried to do some really good things as Bruce Wayne, bringing awareness to the Arkham City thing, and later using his vast wealth and influence to help James Gordon become Gotham's new mayor. So before I show the evidence that Batman lives, let me be very clear. Batman definitely faked his death and is now fully dedicated to his mission. Similar to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and Nolan's Dark Knight Rises, Gotham needed Batman to become more than what he was. While Nolan's film gave Bruce Wayne the right to live and a proper send-off, we all know Wayne can't have a happy ending, because he can't let go of what happened to him. He's consumed by it. Every fiber of his being screams for vengeance. So he was never able to move on as a person. But I will say this, he's helped other people through their pain, like Dick Grayson and Tim Drake, catching the people responsible for killing their parents. But Bruce, he has no hope, unlike his Robins. This ending has caused numerous theories to spring up involving a new Batman since, you know, the ending. Either being, of course, Azrael, Dick Grayson, or Jason Todd, though I have a different idea. It's definitely the original Batman that we see during this ending, and not a Robin. Jason is Red Hood now and wears a bird on his chest proudly, showing that he's back in the Bat family, though he uses lethal force on more than one occasion, but he's still continuing Batman's mission. Dick, on the other hand, wouldn't be Batman in this universe. He lives outside of Batman's shadow. Going from what we've seen in the game too, he wouldn't really take up the mantle of the Bat. Azrael is the only possibility that was hinted during the main game. He knows Batman to a T, studied his tactics, his predator abilities, detective, everything. And even Alfred says the guy is very impressive and would make a good candidate. But depending on what you do in the game, Michael Lane has two outcomes, none of which are proven canon yet by Rocksteady, by the way. Either he fights his programming and leaves Gotham to confront the Order, or he tries to kill Batman and rots in prison. Either way, that's not Azrael at the end using fear gas on criminals. The Nightmare Batman shown at the end is the same Crane sees, which is Batman, Bruce Wayne. How did he survive? Would he really kill his surrogate father, though, by blowing himself up? Or did Calendar Man really kill Bruce Wayne? And I know that's what you're thinking, so let's put the Dorian Day theory to rest right now. Even if Calendar Man discovered Batman's true identity, which is possible, He couldn't have blown up the manor for two reasons. One, both the Batplane and the manor detonate at the same time, folks. How could Calendar Man be at both places at once? When the Batwing, first of all, has been flying all over the city. Unless he knows Bizarro, placing a bomb on that thing is going to be impossible. Also, any foreign object that is placed on the Batwing is going to be neutralized right away because it's going to detect something wrong. Number 2, Wayne Manor is a fortress. Thugs constantly remind the player during the course of the game that Bruce Wayne is wicked hard to steal from because it's like trying to break into Fort Knox. His security systems are the best in the world. Calendar Man is just a crazy serial killer, not a master thief who could bypass Wayne's almost invincible security system. Okay, so we've gotten that squared away. On to why Batman faked his death, and it's really simple, ladies and gentlemen. It was to protect his family. Once again, we look to Alfred for the answers of this clue. For the first time in the game, he speaks with emotion when asking the player numerous times if you really want to activate the failsafe, the Knightfall Protocol, because it would mean the end of everything. There's no coming back from it. The password is, of course, Martha Wayne, which is Bruce Wayne's mom, and the way that Batman says it, you can hear the kind of sadness in his voice as he activates it. So he knows that there's no coming back once he does it. Then Alfred just has to wait for Bruce's final word before he activates the system. This is an ingenious plan that gets rid of both Bruce Wayne and Batman, and is something that only Batman could come up with. Another confirmation to Batman faking his death is during the side missions, where he says farewell to his allies. Let's watch some.
So, here's the part where you tell me off.
I'm proud of you, Dick.
Are you feeling okay?
This is the end. This is the last time we meet.
Don't talk like that. Alright, this won't stop you. Nothing stops you.
Keep Bloodhaven safe. Promise me.
It's okay, Bruce. I get it. You just don't want me hanging around, stealing the limelight.
Dick.
I won't let you down.
And timeout. Notice how Batman is telling Grayson how he's pretty much finished, and Dick is like, whoa, hold on a sec, no you're not, you'll come back from this, you always do. And Bruce is just saying, you know, you're okay to carry on my legacy as Nightwing and keeping Bloodhaven safe, so promise me. And personally, I think he should have just handed over the cowl to Dick anyway, but going by the games and the Knightfall ending, it's not possible to do a Battle for the Cowl game, even though I would totally write one. Also, in this universe, Nightwing has forged his own path, and Bruce is proud of him for that, you know, like a father's proud of his son. And deep down, Grayson knows something's up, but he goes back to his city per Batman's last request. On to Catwoman.
Play nice.
You're not playing at all.
No, I'm not. Not anymore.
And what's that supposed to mean?
It means this is the end, Selina. It means we can't. I can't.
I will see you again, right?
No one will. Gotham needs something more, something worse to defend her. She needs a new myth. A legend more powerful than I can be right now. A legend that can only rise from the ashes of the Batman.
Some things you can't do alone, Bruce.
And this is very important as well. After you defeat the Riddler, Catwoman realizes something is amiss, as you saw. Batman isn't playing around anymore. He mentions to Selina how Gotham needs something darker to protect it. Something more than he can be right now. It needs a new myth, a new legend, a new Batman. But Bruce, he can't be that symbol anymore.
He's strong. He's going to be okay. Look after him, Jim. Look after them all. You've been a good friend. The best I could ask for. You were there at the beginning. And now, you get to see how it ends.
Alright, as for the ending scene which you just saw, this is important as well. See how Bruce asked Jim to look after his family, Robin and the other heroes, etc.? When Jim agreed, he took the responsibility off Batman. Now Jim is the one who will take care of these kids. On the GCPD rooftop, Batman calls Alfred and activates the Knightfall Protocol after saving Gotham completely. And again, he does this to keep his family safe, but at the same time, he unshackles Batman's restraints. Okay, so you guys understand what's going on? Let's look at one more thing. Let's rewind just a little bit. After Bruce has given in fully to the fear toxin and Joker took control of his mind, Bruce Wayne died. Joker won. Batman's greatest fear of turning into the Joker or a killer is now happening. But you're forgetting one important thing. Now that the Joker is in the driver's seat, when Scarecrow drugs him again, Mr. J, even though he thinks he's, toxin-proof, which he isn't, is now having his greatest fears play in his mind. And guess what? Joker's mind is way too weak compared to Batman's, and fear overtakes him. And this is also important. The identity that confronts and defeats the Joker is not Wayne. It's Batman. And that's who returns. Just watch this interaction between Scarecrow and Bruce. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Do you understand, Gotham? You have no savior. No more hope. No more Batman. I've won.
I'm not afraid, Crane.
Impossible. Without fear, life is meaningless. No.
What's wrong? Scared?
Did you see how he shows no emotion whatsoever? There's no fear, there's nothing but this stone-cold gaze. That's Batman. He is vengeance. He is the Knight personified. Bruce Wayne is gone, and the Bat is now free. Only one last thing remains is to get rid of Bruce Wayne and Batman for good, and then Batman can go about his business. And of course, you know how the rest goes. The manor blows up, everybody thinks Batman's dead, and even the criminals go back to business as normal. So yes, I strongly believe that is the real Batman at the end. Not a ghost or a criminal's imagination playing tricks on them due to a long-term exposure to Crane's fear toxin. It's not a hallucination, it is Batman. And another thing that a lot of people aren't happy with, he is weaponizing Crane's gas. It's probably not the same stuff that Crane used, mind you. The dosage is probably a little weaker because there's innocent people nearby, but it's still the fear stuff. If you're still unsure that's Batman at the end, the Joker during the ending gives you one last clue, and that's while he's singing. Now remember, he's locked inside Batman's subconscious, so how could he be singing if Batman is really dead? So in the end, with the city no longer corrupted by bad cops and corrupt politicians and super criminals, Gotham has a bright future ahead of it. Batman is back to how he started, folks, an urban legend. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. In the comment section below, tell me what your theory about the Knightfall ending was. And if you agree or disagree with me, feel free to open the floodgates of discussion and talk with me. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to bat punch that like button, because it really does help me out a lot. Well, anyway, I had a lot of fun putting this video together for all of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Until we meet again, God bless, and happy gaming. Be seeing you.